Hello, my name is Rocco Williams, and this is a tour of my online course titled Introduction to the 5E Model, the 5E Method. This is the home page, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn edit mode off, so that way we can see what the course will look like as a learner. First thing they will do is go to the introduction. Here in the introduction, you can see we have our brief little description of what the course is going to be, the goal, and the objectives clearly stated. It also gives some direction as to where to start, letting them know that all the content will be right here on this part of the course. And in that content tab, there will be all 5 E's. They will start with the engage, then move on to the explore, explain, elaborate, and finish off with the evaluate. Let's go ahead and look at what that looks like. So here's the content page. As you can see, it is broken down into the 5E model. I thought it would be appropriate if we're going to teach about the 5E if the course itself was broken down into the 5E so that the teachers can see what it feels like to go through the whole process. First section is the engage. In the engage, they are going to watch a short little YouTube video clip that describes what the 5E lesson planning cycle is. When they are done, they are going to complete a 3-2-1 in which they describe 3 things that they now know about the 5E model, 2 questions they still have, and 1 thing that they disagree with. I wanted to put that in there just to get them thinking, start that higher level disagreement type process. In this section, they will write their submission just as plain text, and I'll be able to receive that, read it, review it, and comment. Once the engage is done, we'll go back to content to get into the next section of our course, which is going to be the explore. The explore section has 3 activities that they're going to do. The first thing is to read an article, and it's just going to be 1 page of that article. It's going to be page 2. That looks like this. As you can see, it just gives a brief explanation of each E in the 5E model, describes what happens at each phase. Once they've read the article, then they're going to click on this link, which takes them to a third-party website that has a graphic organizer. They will then download the graphic organizer and complete it. With each box, they're going to write each E in the 5E model and, using their own words, describe what happens in that phase of the lesson planning cycle. They will then submit that graphic organizer in this portion of the module. Once they've completed the explore section, they will move on to the explain. In the explain, we're taking all the information that we've learned hands-on from the videos and reading the article, and we're trying to apply it. So we're once again going to click on this link, which takes us to a third-party website, and they're going to have to match activities from the curriculum framework to the correct E. In order to make this game work, we had to be a little bit tricky. Here we see that number 2 corresponds with these number 2s over here. So if it's 1 battery, wire, and bulb, make it light, that's an activity from the framework, and that is obviously an engage because it's very simple, it's engaging. The kids are activating prior knowledge if they've ever put a circuit together. It's very low level. So that would be an engage. Well, it's not going to be the engage with the 1 in front of it. It's going to be the engage with the 2 in front. And as you can see, the teachers will just continue to correctly match the type from the 5E based on the description from the framework. The next section is going to be the elaborate. In the elaborate, they're going to be linked to a discussion thread, and what they're going to do is answer the question posed The question was, they were wanting them to describe an activity that is not in the framework that they have done previously that led to student success. Once they've identified the activity, they're going to tell us where in the 5E model it would fit in. The last part of the 5E model is to evaluate. So in order to do that, they're actually going to go back to the previous discussion and they're going to select a classmate's post and they're going to read it and they're going to reply, and in that reply they're going to say that how they like the lesson, how they might change the lesson, or what they think about where their classmates said it fit in the 5E model. They may say, hey, it's a great activity, but I think that's better fit into the explore rather than the engage. This is how I, as the course instructor, will be able to gauge whether or not my learners really grasp the 5E lesson cycle. That completes the tour of my course, which was created in order to get teachers to more effectively use the 5E lesson cycle when doing their lesson planning. Thank you.